What's up, landlords? I'm going to show you the formation infrastructure of a good rental business. A note-taking app. You're going to need a business email, a way to keep your passwords organized with a two-factor authentication. You're going to need a business phone number, and you're going to need a domain registrar, a workplace, something like Google Workplace or Zoho. You're also going to need a business address, EIN, and an LLC. This is kind of how I have mine set up, where I use Evernote and I have my holding company, management company, consulting company, the mail app, and it's really easy for me to just check all my emails from one place. I use Zoho Vault and Authy. Authy is my two-factor authentication. I use RingCentral. I use Cloudflare for my domain registrar. Zoho is my workplace kind of product where I have so much going on there with, from the email hosting. I have the work drive where it saves all the business stuff. I have the my e-forms, and I have like the surveys, the CRM. I mean, like, you can even do a little website with them. You could do your, a virtual phone with them. I would definitely check out Zoho Workplace for, like, if you're interested in setting up a good like business infrastructure. And then I do a Florida registered agent, and I work with Sunbiz and stuff for my local, business, Department of State of Florida kind of business registry. Three-part structure I have set up for my LLC. I have the management company, consulting, and the holding company. And I got it set up where they all kind of coexist and they pay each other and they sustain each other. And it's completely separate from me. Here's the way the money flows. So obviously the holding company owns the rental properties. As I pay them off, I roll the ownership into the holding company LLC. I also have umbrella insurance and all that good stuff. But I'm trying to separate myself from the business. And the management company provides property management services, so that they kind of, you can see here, the holding company pays the management company, and the management company is providing services to the holding company. That's easy to understand. For me, I have landlording school, so that's why I use my consulting business for, teaching landlording stuff, learning, just having a communities of landlords and stuff. And that's kind of how I operate. Also, I found that I kind of handle most of my daily business under the consulting umbrella, and it just kind of was nice that way. So the way this is set up is a consulting company provides services to the management company and for the holding company. For example, registered agent. Before I had this set up, I used to have to log into my management bank, and then I would have to pay for registered agent, and then I would have to bookkeep that and track the expense. Then I'll have to go into my holding one and then do the same thing for the same register agent. And I'm like, I'm doing the work twice. And I'm like, this is a pain, just so I can separate the fees distinctively for the money that's in the holding company and the money that's in the management company. Now I just use my consulting company as kind of like a hired third party, where the consulting company does all like the website stuff, the email hosting, and the infrastructure, like the IT management, the back end. And like whenever there's requirements like a registered agent, the consulting company does it 3 times for itself and for the management company and the holdings company. And basically it just became simple for me, and that's kind of what I'm sharing with you guys. Here's the naming convention that I have for my domains, because you have to purchase the domain to have the email, and it makes you look legitimate when you're working with tenants and stuff. And also whenever you have to set up a business banking, they're going to require an email, and you cannot use the same email for multiple business bankings. And I've tried that. I tried to log in one, and then I tried to set up the next business banking, and they blocked me. Hey, there's already a customer with this email or something, I don't know. And then I'm like, what? I don't want to make different emails, and it got really sloppy. So I was like, all right, now I need to take this serious and have different domains. So then I found that I couldn't get the domains I wanted, so I had to rename my businesses and everything, and it was a mess. If you could just go into this in the beginning thinking, hey, I'm just going to keep it simple, I want a management company, holding company, and consulting company, and then see if you can find that name that you want, maybe your family name or something, and then just get all those domains you can. And then ideally, this is what I was trying to do, but I ended up doing something different. I wanted yourbizmanagement.com, yourbizholdings.com, yourbizconsulting.com, and then I wanted yourbiz.com, because I was going to have the email alias forward to yourbiz.com for the management, the holdings, and the consulting. So then I can just operate under just one email, but I couldn't find my yourbiz.com. So I looked around for some other domains endings that were kind of popular and not so weird, because they get kind of wild. You can have all kinds of like different endings and people will think it's like spam. The .io is kind of like tech friendly and stuff, and it's growing in popularity. So I just ended up with the equivalent of yourbiz.io. So here's kind of like the overarching kind of theme of when you're setting up your accounts and your emails and how to handle it in the most efficient way possible, which helped me the most. There's certain things that require an email. For example, the management. In the management section right here, I had to get business banking, so I created a email called superadmin at, let's call it yourbiz.management.com, and I set up that bank account. And then obviously I have property management software, and then same thing for holdings. When you go set up that business banking, they require you to do it properly and have a separate email. So I made superadmin at yourbizholdings.com. And then since you have property management software, you're going to need a seat as an owner. So you're gonna have to log into the same property management software from the other side, because you're now the owner, and then you have the operator of the management. When you're setting up your consulting, bank account, that again, it's required. So it's superadmin at yourbizconsulting.com. But at that point, it stops. I'm done with getting all messy and trying to remember which account which went with where. So what I tended to do is operate everything under this .io one. And these ones are email aliases that forward over here. So whenever I'm doing like catch-all stuff or bookkeeping or legal professionals, consulting, dues and subscriptions, I got advertising, office, phone, all this stuff. I started setting everything up just superadmin at yourbiz.io. Ideally, I would like yourbiz.com, but I couldn't find that .com, and it's very expensive. Everybody's trying to hold them and sell them for like outrageous prices. And then here's this other one over here that really makes you look like a legitimate business when you're dealing with the tenants, because now you can form another email alias and it just looks really legitimate, and it's the infrastructure is set up in a way where it's easy for me to manage and maintain and run, because I'm pretty much operating under one email for everything. And I just want to get this out here to try to help you guys, and hopefully that this kind of will make sense and it'll make life easier for you. But a couple ideas that might help you, which helped me and when I had to rename my businesses, is you can go to like business generators online. There's a bunch of them. I just found a couple here. Namelix, and then type in some name that you want, and they will just spit out all kinds of random stuff that gives you ideas. Or you can go to Wikipedia and type in your last name, your family name, or some other descendant, their name, look it up. You can find different spellings of it. Like when I looked up Smith, it means to smite or something. Maybe you could look up Smite Holdings and Smite Management and Smite, consulting. I'm just trying to give you ideas and help you form the architecture of your business venture in a really strong, like a great foundation that it lasts a long time, is easy and it's efficient to maintain. You know what I mean? So this is just like some homework that you could do if you were thinking about maybe, getting legitimate and operating like with LLCs and business banking and everything. You can just go ahead and just fill in the blank, see what name you can find, do some research. And then once you finally settle on something, there's one last little bit of work that you have to do. You actually have to go to your, Department of State or wherever you're forming these LLCs. I operate in Florida, so I go to sunbiz.org, and you actually have to look and see if that name is available. And then you could use Namecheap or GoDaddy or Cloudflare, whoever you want. I just prefer Cloudflare. You can do your own research and figure it out. But the last thing I would like to show you is this is the registered agent I use that gives me the virtual address, and they'll also give you a lease. Like the packages will allow you to have like a certain amount of mail go there, and then they scan the mail and they give you an app that you can check your mail. And they'll even offer some stuff where you can have a dedicated assistant, like where you can call in, like you can have like a front desk number. And what they'll do is they'll just receive any calls and write down the message and forward it to you. But they're trying to make money, and they have all these different services. It's something to look into. Just make sure you get somebody that's going to be around a long time and they're legitimate. And it'll last a long time, because you don't want to go with somebody that's really cheap just because you're saving money, but they offer crappy service or they're not going to be around a long time. Here's the Sunbiz. You would type in your name here, and look it up, like Your Biz Holdings, and see if anybody has a Your Biz Management, Your Biz Consulting, and if it's not taken, then that's good. And then here's how you could form an LLC in Florida. It's really easy. You can do it online. And then in order to get your EIN, you can also do this online. It's pretty easy. So once you get your domain and stuff set up, before you go and apply for your LLC and your EIN, you have to well, I would recommend, you don't have to do anything, but this is all just my advice of what I've experienced, is you would want to get your virtual phone number and your virtual address, which would be over here, before you go ahead and apply for your EIN. The reason why, and your LLC, is because when you complete these forms, they're going to be asking you, hey, what's your address? You can get it, you can give the virtual address. Hey, what's your number? You can give your business line number. And that's going to separate your personal information, because if you go on your local state department registered business, registry, whatever, like our Sunbiz, you can look all the filings, look down every year, all the filings, and you could find people's information. You can find their address, you can, whatever number they use, if they even put their email there. So I would recommend building out this infrastructure first, before you go, filling out, state forms, or, applying for stuff, like, because you don't know, it's hard to track what is going to be public record and what's not. So in the most, cautious, advantageous position to be in would be to form all this stuff, all have business, everything separated, and then go ahead and apply for those, like the LLC or whatever formation way you're going to go about it. And if you want to get an EIN. But that's it for today. This is the Landlord Live. I just wanted to put something out here because nobody showed up for the call today. But if anybody wants to jump on these calls, get inside landlordingschool.com, and I do them every Sunday evening. And then we can go one-on-one. We can address any concerns you have. If nobody shows up, I just create my own topic and then I just post this. So thanks guys for being here and watching everything. Appreciate it. Bye.